Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to rise today on behalf of the Ontario New Democratic Party, our leader Andrew Horwath, to acknowledge Injured Workers Day, and I am afraid that that it may be the only initiative that comes out of this House that actually provides any tangible point of reference for any action on behalf of this body, this legislative body, when it comes to addressing the issues that injured workers in the province of Ontario face. And I would simply ask members, if you aren't receiving the same volume of calls as it relates to the failures of our workplace safety and insurance system that I am in my riding, then you aren't answering the phone. You aren't picking it up. You're avoiding it. It is massive. It dominates the volume of calls that we receive in our office, and it's indicative of a failure in that system, where there's been a focus on reducing the unfunded liability that seems to dominate, again, the conversation when it comes to the system, at the expense of what the system used to be, which was a compensation system that acknowledged that when workers were hurt, injured, or suffered from occupational disease, they got compensated. They were taken care of. We understood that it was important to take care of them and to ensure that they were remained healthy and vibrant contributors to our society. Now, what's happened is that they've destroyed the system so terribly, workers aren't even inclined to even indicate that they've been injured. They don't want to because of the stigma that's attached to being an injured worker in this province, and then the hurdles and loopholes that you have to climb through to get any action from our compensation system. I beg, I plead to the members in here. And I appreciate the minister and his final statements. It's a day that we promise each other to continue to do what we can and what we must do to provide a system that compensates, that doesn't degrade, doesn't demean injured workers, one that acknowledges that if we don't take steps immediately, we risk trying to compete with areas that do not promote health and safety, like Bangladesh, where they don't care. They didn't care. It was the corporate agenda that dominated the industries that garment workers, mainly women, suffered from at the expense of greed and at the expense of health and safety legislation. We have the Arthur's report that should be acted upon in its entirety. Mr. Speaker, I could speak for hours. I wish I did have the opportunity to do. PTSDs, precarious work, migrant workers who aren't afforded the same information and resources that we should be providing. We've got so much more work to do, Mr. Speaker, and I implore the minister to get on this file in a real comprehensive way. He knows he has my full support if he endeavours to do that. Today is a day we remember and thank injured workers for their advocacy, but there's so much more we can do. Thank you, Speaker.